Um, so we're at 230 people-ish. So I want to introduce myself. For those that don't know me, my name is Gabby Roethlisberger. I am direct to Sarah Pappas and Marshall Wayland, and so blessed to be in the hierarchy, the best hierarchy. I'm just gonna say it. But I wanted to introduce myself because we have so many new people, and I want to shout out the West Coasters. 6 a.m. Like, you're a badass being on this call. I just want to shout you out, like, truly. And it's gonna alter your business. I've watched it. So welcome. Anybody ever heard of Success Leaves Clues? Anybody heard of that? Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of that. Success Leaves Clues. That's kind of like a symmetry-ism around here. I am actually going to give you the clues today on how to become a difference maker on your team. Because here is the thing, difference makers become leaders. And I chopped it up to 5 characteristics, if you will, of a difference maker on a team. We love lists here. Scott, we love a good list. I'm going to talk about five characteristics of what a difference maker is on a team. And before I go over kind of those 5 things, I'm going to talk about really 2 individuals. When I was thinking of this topic, these 2 people popped into my head. And that's kind of how this topic came about. So the first person is actually Jamie Cuppernell. For those that don't know her, you guys know Sarah Reinecke, right? She's done a few things. She's done a few things here. She's all right. Anybody know her? Well, Jamie Cuppernell is direct to Sarah Reinecke. Sarah posted about wine and Jamie was in. And I remember talking with Sarah. This would have been last year after we had our son. So we had our first child, our son, last year, kind of June 23rd, 2024. It's his birthday. So it was in the middle of last year, and we were talking, and our business took a hit. Having a baby, it took a hit. We were just not in the place where we could be away from our business in that way. And I'm thankful for that time because it forced us to kind of slow down in a business that we did not want to slow down in, but there was a lot of learning in that. It was a blessing, being able to kind of slow down in that way. But I remember talking with Sarah and just kind of sharing, talking shop as we like to do. And I don't know if y'all know this, but Sarah's base shop goes off. She has, over $1 million base shop. That's where it's at. If you're an agency owner, it's all about the base shop. And I remember being a little salty and saying, yeah, but Sarah, you have a Jamie Cuppernell. Like, you're a decent leader and all, you're good. But I remember saying, like, you get that having Jamie Cuppernell in your agency is like a secret sauce. Like, you get how valuable that is to have a cup on your team, right? And she was like, oh, I know she is. She's secret sauce. And at the time, what that really looked like, to put it simply, is Sarah knew that she could count on Jamie. And I'm not talking about counting on her to do 20,000 this month, right? That's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about someone who could be counted on to never let Sarah dance in the rain alone. Like, we're talking about someone who was in it, who was a team player, who was the welcome committee to everyone that came through Sarah's base shop, someone who cared about the success of everyone, someone who cared about the success of the team at large, right? Cared about Sarah and her success. You knew because of her actions, not her words. And that's what kind of the secret sauce of having a Jamie Cuppernell, a difference maker, was to Sarah's base shop at the time. And I remember saying it a little salty, right? Like, how many of us would kill to have someone like that on our team, right? Someone who is just like ride or die and in it, engaged, living out the 5 characteristics I'm going to go over in a second. And I bet, right, leaders on this call, if you were to think about it right now, you would be able to think of that person or persons to you on your team. And I didn't ask, like, these are 100% just some guesses of mine. I don't know this to be true. This is really just me from what I've observed. And I would say, right, like Kate and Scott, like Schnitzers, I would bet that Wilbur Smith is one of those leaders and teammates on y'all's team. Like, just a guess, right? Like Joe and Jill, I'd bet it's Anna Safavi. Again, I don't know this to be true. It's just what I've kind of observed, right? They're difference makers in y'all's agency. And again, these are people that would just never let you dance in the rain alone, people who can be counted on. And so that brings me to kind of who that is and who that came to be on our team right now. And that is the second person that popped into my head when I was thinking of this topic, Christian Burrell. I remember going to Sarah and saying, I have a Jamie. It's Christian, right? Like, let me share with you the stats of things he's accomplished so far in the 6 months. 6 months he's been here. All right. He's earned 3 promotions. He's in the middle of his 4th promotion and in the middle of a key leader run. He earned the Pappas incentive trip to Jamaica happening later this year in October. So he earned a trip in 6 months. His July, this is what his July looked like: 24 apps for 26,000, 4 writers, and he wrote 14,500 of that on his own pen. Cool, right? Now I'm going to share with you the things that actually matter to me that Christian brings to the table. The things that have made him the difference maker that he is on our team, right? All of that is cool. But these are the 5 characteristics of a difference maker. And I'm going over these, and I want to challenge everyone to really think about these and how you show up in this business. Like, I want to challenge you. This is high accountability, high challenge call. I'm bringing you the challenge. I'm bringing you the support right now. I told you I'm giving you the clues, and challenge how you show up in this business, how you show up to your leaders, to your teammates, to your workrooms, to your mentors, right? All of that. I'm going to challenge you. So first characteristic of a difference maker is they take initiative. They don't wait to be asked, right? Like when Wilbur started that AO call with Jamie and Anna, I don't think he asked Scott's permission. I think he just did it, right? Like for Christian, I don't have to ask him to do things. And when I do ask, the answer is always, of course, I got you. Or on the other side of this, I know when someone is new and is welcome to our Slack channel, within minutes, they're going to receive a message from Christian saying, welcome to the family. I didn't tell him to say that. I didn't tell him to think that. He didn't need to be asked to contribute to the culture in Slack. And I remember first seeing it and I'm like, Fred, he views us as family. Like he just, he just did it, right? Difference makers take initiative. Second characteristic of a difference maker is difference makers elevate others, right? Like leaders, you all know those people that just raise the bar. They uplift teammates through encouragement, right? Support, literally making the whole team better. Like I've watched Christian pour into others outside of this agency, within this agency, direct to him, not direct to him. He elevates our team because of how he shows up in the Mac room, in the chat, on our, weekly call, everywhere, and in the relationships that he's built on our team, right? It makes me think of Michelle Tibetan and Patrick Pipcorn and my dad, Ken Smith, right? Like I've seen, these relationships build, and that's what difference makers do, is they elevate others, right? I've seen him raise the standards. One month he was like, I'm doing 100 dials a day challenge. He threw that out there and invited people to join him. Difference makers take initiative and they elevate others. Third thing, difference makers deliver consistently. Their reliability builds trust. You know that you can count on them to follow through. Business moves, I know y'all have heard this, right? Business moves at the speed of trust. And the more you can, in the relationships that you have in this business, do what you say you're going to do, the faster trust is built. And that's both sides of the line, right? Christian trusts me. I trust him, because we have in the past 6 months continued to do what we say we're going to do. He has been unbelievably consistent in that. Consistency builds trust. Like think about that. When you consistently get up in the morning at 5 a.m., all of a sudden you become someone who you can trust again, right? Like we talk about that so much in this call, just sticking by your word. So difference makers, they deliver consistently. The fourth thing that difference makers do is they stay solution focused, right? Like you're not going to see a leader who's negative. You just aren't here. Like it doesn't happen. Instead of dwelling on problems or setbacks, like difference makers are going to pivot quickly and push forward with positivity. You know, Christian started strong. His first month, he actually did a little over 11,000, which is awesome as a brand new agent. And then he took a little dip. You wouldn't know it though. You wouldn't hear it in his language, in his outlook, in his vision, because he has a committed mindset. He is committed here. It's been decided, right? Like if Christian were to quit, there are even some of you on this call with as little time as he has been here, you would be shocked that he quit, right? Can that be said about you? Would people be shocked if you quit? Christian's too ingrained in this business to quit, and that's the difference maker behavior. You're going to find solutions to really anything, any obstacles, because you know this is it. This is the place to be. Jamie Cuppernell, right? She was one of the two people that I thought of. One of the most positive people I know, right? Like just water on a duck's back, pretty much anything that she faces. Difference maker. So the fifth thing of a characteristic of a difference maker is difference makers bring energy and ownership. Energy and ownership, two things that go hand in hand. If you are building an agency, you have to bring the energy. You have to choose excitement, and you have to own that in your agency. And Fred and I, we do our damnedest to bring that energy to our team every single day. And the cool thing is we don't have to fake it. We truly feel it. The gratitude and love for this business and the people we're partnered with and all of it. But the magic and where it gets fun is finding someone who will bring that energy and excitement about this business with you. People who are bought in with you, people who would never let you dance in the rain alone, right? Christian contributes to that culture. He brings the energy. And here is why this is important. Who a difference maker is and how they show up gives room and space for everyone to show up in that way, right? A difference maker models what it looks like. And it is invaluable to have people like that on your team. Invaluable to be that person on your team. And if I were to ask your mentor or your leader, would you consider so-and-so to be a difference maker on your team? Right? Remember, a difference maker doesn't mean top producer, right? You can be counted on for 30,000 this month. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the soft stuff. The soft stuff is the hard stuff here. The things that you don't immediately see as valuable. You signing up for live dials, you encouraging a teammate, you welcoming someone in the chat, you putting up a challenge for others on your team, you showing up consistently, your presence being able to be counted on. That's the soft stuff that is so easy to do and so easy not to do. But it's the stuff that is the difference between good teams and bad teams, winning teams and losing teams. It's the difference between you making it here and not making it here. I will go as far as to say that. This soft stuff that I'm talking about, it's the difference between you making it here and not making it here. So are you quietly involved on your team, right? Quietly involved in the corner? Do you find yourself saying, oh, that's for them, not me. That's for those people. That's for leaders. I'm not a leader, right? Someone will answer that person's question in the chat. Jamie showed up as a leader before she was one. Christian was brand new, yet I watched him impact this team in living out those 5 characteristics. You will have to master the soft stuff. You will have to show up as a difference maker before you feel like you're making a difference. Everybody gets that, right? Like you're not going to see it immediately. And I'm going to challenge every single person's way of thinking right now. If you're in this business, you are a leader. You are leading your clients through the process of purchasing life insurance. You're leading your family in changing the trajectory of their future. You are leading yourself in a business that weeds people out left and right. You are a leader and you can be a difference maker. So my questions for you to ponder are you a part of raising the bar on your team or keeping it low? Are you part of creating the culture on your team, or do you leave that for your leaders? sometimes we can believe the lie that our voice doesn't matter, right? Teams can be big and you think, what is me showing up in this way? How is that going to make a difference? Don't believe that lie. How every single person on this call shows up matters. Everything matters. It all counts towards your growth. Your growth matters. Your growth is your leader's growth. Your growth is this company's growth. And Jim, I'm embarrassed to say, and I'm probably going to get roasted in the chat. But I have never, up until yesterday, Fred and I have never seen Ted Lasso. I was like, it's going to be a pick'ems if Jim has seen it or not. I feel like
I went through most of the first 2 seasons, and it's one of those, like, by that point, I felt like I got it. Like, first season was awesome. Second was okay, and then I felt all right about it. I don't know.
All right, well, I reject that because I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. I'm late to the party, but I am obsessed with Ted Lasso. And Fred and I both had never seen it, and we're watching it together now. And so, of course, I look up some Ted Lasso quotes to finish this off. Ted Lasso says, "You don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great." And so I challenge you guys with a lot today. Start now. Like, really think about how you're showing up in this business and how you're showing up for your leader, for your team, and start showing up as a difference maker on your team and just watch your business grow. I promise you that. That's what I got, Jim.
Gabby, there was so much good in there. I feel like we could take an entire morning of content on each one of those pieces and the self-reflective questions that come with it. The thing I think that haunted me the most in that was your number 3, was that consistency one. So many of us, and guys, I think with the biggest reason we don't get the results we want isn't that we don't show up well. It's that we don't show up well consistently.
Yes.
Like, think of any other thing in your whole life. Like, we've got our freaking AC units in our house, and it's so hot in Virginia, they can't keep up. So it's like 78 on the main floor. And then we call the HVAC guys to come. And by the time they come, it seems to have fixed itself. So they're like, I can't find anything wrong. And it's like, it would almost be better if it never worked. At least then I'd know what I was getting. But this, like, kind of works sometimes, kind of works other times, or doesn't work other times. Like, think of your car. If your car just never worked, you'd get another car or arrange a ride or get an Uber or do something else. But if it sometimes works, like, that's almost worse. And I think so many of us operate a business that sometimes works. Sometimes works. You sometimes show up. You sometimes have a great attitude. You sometimes are solution oriented. You sometimes contribute to culture. And sometimes can be the most frustrating thing for any mentor, for any business, for any person in your orbit, because they don't know what they're gonna get from you on a day-to-day. When my phone rings and I see your name, which version of you am I gonna get on the phone? Am I gonna get the extreme ownership? You're showing up. Is this one of your days where you're on? Or is this one of your days when you're not on? And what are the factors that affect that? What owns your business so much it determines how you show up to it? Consistency, man. Consistency in the good things and not owning the fact that you're just like lots of humans, consistently inconsistent. It's a reason a lot of us aren't there, Gabby. I was listening to that one and all the others. I'm like, oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. And then I hit that third one and I'm like, oh, that's the linchpin to all these things. Like, the other rest of them, like, yeah, you got to do, but if you don't do it, that consistency piece, then it doesn't matter. She's going to shout out Christian Burrell all day long. What if Christian was like, every couple days, hey, welcome to the team, and every couple days, I hate this place and I want to quit? Like, Christian, you can't talk to new people until we know you're going to be showing up the right way. But the reason they trust him is because they know what they're going to get consistently. It's huge. Thank you for that reminder, Gabby. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. I'm going to open up breakout rooms. We're going to rock and roll this morning. All right, breakout rooms are open. Find your AO. If you're new here, you can jump into any of these breakout rooms and watch and see how AOs coach their teams. If you want to just hang tight with me right here, feel free to hang tight with me right here. And I am going to open up the spreadsheet for my crew. Let me pull this up here real quick. I'm on my wife's laptop, so let's see if, shoot, I don't have that sign in. Let's see. Might need one of y'all to pull it up. I'm gonna give one more try here. No, have I never signed in on her computer for this before? I don't believe that. Oh, are we gonna get it? We might get it. Hang on. I'm not gonna be excited. I should have done this before, but all right. Doesn't want to let me share. Who wants to pull up the spreadsheet that I can walk y'all through it? Who's got our spreadsheet handy?
I've got it up.
Oh, Sarah, you put a link in there for me. That's fun. Look, and it worked. Direct link. Thank you, friend.
Got you.
All right, here we go. Go ahead, share my screen. All right, let's work our way across this. What are we looking at? Trinity. You had an app yesterday, 133 dials, 355 dials on the week on a Tuesday morning is legit. 28 contacts, 10 appointments set, 3 run, got an app for 1,400. That puts you at 1,400. That's your first app this week. All right. I love those dial numbers. Rest are falling into place. Sarah set a goal of 10,000, 76 dials on the week so far. We got to pick that up in the back half of this week, I think, Sarah. When we're setting, you're at 4 appointments set on the week, and you know as well as I do, that ain't going to get you where you want to go. So watching to see effort pick up in the back half. Christine, I see 400 dials. I see 400 dials on the week so far on a Tuesday morning. That's getting it done. Couple appointments set there. Barbara, don't know what happened to the, there we go, pull your name up there. 200 dials, talk to 18 people, set 1 appointment. So one of the earliest things, Barbara, is going to be, you're going to have those contacts where you're getting in touch with people, but every single person is going to give you a level of resistance. Even though they asked for a phone call, they do not recognize your phone number, your voice, your name. And so people, prospective agents will always ask me, like, how warm are these leads, right? They're wanting to come in. They think they're just going to buy leads and make sales. And I'll tell them the leads are as warm as they could possibly be, and yet still need an agent to help connect the dots. If they were warmer, they wouldn't need you. This is our job, is to help connect the dots between their request and our phone call. Now, when they see, and I want every one of you to be thinking yourself, when you get a call from a number you don't recognize, how inclined are you to answer it? If you do decide to answer it, how warm and friendly and inviting are you? Versus how skeptical, on edge, how armored up, how like, what do you want? Right? And so we make these outbound calls and we're like, they weren't really excited to hear from me. But then we pick up a number from a phone number we don't know and we're like, not excited to hear from them. I'm like, you don't get it both ways. So learning that art is one of the first things that you need to learn on the phone is how to bypass that first layer of resistance they're inevitably going to give you to connect the dots between their request and your call. Liz, 268 dials, talk to 4 people. Marcy, looking for 5,000. You're at a couple hundred dials already this week. You've talked to 10 people, set an appointment. Molly, 19 dials, Molly. We got to pick this up on the back end. I love the contact rate. You've talked to 7 people in only 19 dials and set 3 appointments. I mean, those ratios look fantastic. But we want to pick up that effort. Jordan, same thing. We want to pick up that effort. Now, Jordan, he's got 3 apps in. He texted me yesterday. He's like 3 apps in the last 4 days. Like, dude is just getting things done. So excited. He's a student of this game. I'm going to see how relevant his last text to me was because it... Yeah, so this is from Jordan to me yesterday. So my dialing numbers have taken a dip the past few days. You can see that at 27 dials on the week because I was really practicing the script and objections and getting my closing dialed in. It all seemed to work, so I'm going to hit the phones hard the rest of the week. I also think I'm going to branch out soon and try some MIA leads. The same guy that said 3 apps in the last 4 days, I'm getting the hang of mortgage protection ones. He's still going back, still going to the lab and practicing, learning, growing, building that skill set. Corinne Kelly, 146 dials, talked to 8 people, set 5 appointments. I love that appointment set rate. Corinne's been here a long time, guys. She has really mastered the phones in connecting with people. She's going to turn people she talks to into appointments. Kurt, couple hundred dials, Kurt. Love that. 16 contacts, 1 appointment. And so I see this as a new agent thing to me. And so I want you to, what I want you to take from that, Kurt, is recognize that you're not alone. Lots of new people struggle with that, and it gets better. I want you to recognize all 3 things in that. Yes, you're talking to people and you're not setting appointments. That puts you in really, really good company. It also, I want you to recognize it is system driven and it comes with experience and you're going to get it. All right, JT, good size app yesterday, 3,000 on the board, puts you at 3 apps for 6,600. 106 dials, talked to 11 people, 8 appointments set. This is another guy that's good on the phone. JT knows how to connect with people. He's going to talk to people. He's going to connect. Show rate is phenomenal. Closing rate is within acceptable parameters, admittedly on a small sample size. Good size app, bumped up the APV per app for sure there. Ben and his wife, Anna, just bought a ton of leads. Ben, I got your text. I'm going to reply to that here as soon as we're off here, but I expect these numbers to start shooting up as they're working big leads. Kiara, looking for 2,500, 111 dials, 15 contacts, 3 appointments set, 1 run. You're doing your thing, Kiara. The fastest way out of this is massive action. Just dive in. Go 500 dials. Go 1,000 dials in a week, and you're going to learn a ton, and that phone's going to get really light. Tina, 300 dials minimum in a week, and I need you to hear that. We've got a way up. You dialed on Saturday, haven't put any numbers in here for Monday or Tuesday, right? This is that consistency piece we're talking about. I can't tell, are you not showing up for your business? Are you not showing up in putting in, are you working but not putting in the numbers? I don't know, and in the absence of not knowing, I can't help. So I need you to show up like you said you were going to show up. I need you to show up consistently like you said you were going to show up consistently, because in the absence of showing up and in the absence of consistency, I can't help you. I want to help you. I'm here to help you. All right, Lexi, you said 2,500. I want to know when and where and how you think that's going to happen if you're not on the phones. People aren't going to knock on your door. You didn't get a license, and now people are just going to walk up to your door. You've got to make a proactive outbound effort. So I want to start seeing some dial numbers here. Kurt said 2,500. You had 160 dials this week, made 3 contacts, set 2 appointments. All right, let's let's bear this out for the week, right? Let's say we're halfway through. So we're going to be at 320 dials, six contacts, 4 appointments set. 4 appointments set, looking at 2 run, looking at maybe 1 app on average numbers. Theoretically, that could get you there if your ratios fall into the average parameters. So far, your ratios haven't fallen into average parameters. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to increase activity because we know there's refining to do on our ratios. So for you, I'd say 300 dials might not be the minimum. It might be 500. That was one of the best lessons I learned from Andrew Jimenez. When he was in the learning curve, he said the average agent needs 300 dials to do X, Y, or Z. He says, I'm new. I'm not average. I might need 1,000 dials to do what they do in 300. I might need 1,500 dials to do what someone else does in 300. That just might be because my skill set's not developed. My ratios are not great. I've got a lot of work to do. I might need to 5, 6, 7x activity to get the same results as somebody who is better than me. And he owned that. Mora, 119 dials. You marked out a couple days out of the office. So I'm assuming on those couple days in the office, we're going to pick up activity because one appointment set and one appointment set so far isn't getting you where you want to go. Ace, you've talked to 19 people. The disconnect between talking to people and appointment set is a common one. I've talked to Barbara and Kurt about that this morning already. It's a common one. What's gonna get you there is getting curious about how to ask the probing questions, how to keep them on the phone, how to not let their brush you off. Because so often that brush off has nothing to do with whether or not they're in the market for life insurance. It has to do with the fact that they don't feel like spending right now on the phone with a voice they don't know, a person they didn't even listen to when they introduced themselves about a topic they don't even want to invest the energy to figure out. That's what you're getting. That's what they're rejecting. They're literally rejecting, I don't want to talk to a stranger on the phone right now so much that I've not even put in the effort to listen to what they're talking about or to even know the context of the call. They're just trying to get you off the phone. Call me back later. I'm at work. Oh, okay. That's an appointment. Call back later. That is not an appointment. And call back later does not mean I'm going to answer later. It means I don't want to talk to you right now. And now I know your number, so I ain't going to answer later. That's what it means. It's a blow off. It's not an appointment. You want to get past the blow off. You want to get to the place where they're genuinely curious. And that comes from keeping them on the phone, asking probing questions, connecting the dots for them between their request. They requested for a reason. They felt at some point, they felt a vulnerability. They may not remember requesting. They may not remember filling out the card. They may not remember calling in. But they did it for a reason, because they felt a financial vulnerability, at least in that moment. Maybe that moment passed. But if that financial vulnerability is still there, that's what you want to connect the dots to. You don't need to get obsessed with, do you remember or not remember making the request? You need to become obsessed with, do you or do you not feel the financial vulnerability and the risk? That's what we're protecting. That's the emotion that led them to request. So what they did with that emotion can be, in my mind, an irrelevant thing. Now, if it's an A lead I'm working and I'm the first person to handle this request, I'm absolutely going to talk about their request. It's fresh in their mind. They know they did it. If it's an older lead, I'm not going to worry about the request. I'm going to worry about the feeling that elicited the request in the first place. That's where I'm going to start, and I'm going to ask probing questions to elicit that. And that's going to be what helps connect the dots and narrow this gap, Ace. Luke, 48 dials, 7 appointments set, and talk to 7 people, 1 appointment set. Here's what I want to tell you, Luke. What you've done so far this week should be half of one day. We just need to compress it and do more. There's literally no way around that. Laura, work and warm network. I'd love to see, Laura, some Dial sessions on leads in there. I'd love to see you starting to get that put together. Anna with a good app for 2100, 108 dials so far. Talked to 6 people, set 2 appointments. They both showed up and closed it. Line it up and knock it down, Anna. Love it. Hannah, 783 dials on the week so far. I want y'all to hear that. Some of y'all ain't hit 100 yet. 783, talked to 20 people, set 4 appointments, ran 1. Ernestine, 253 dials, talked to 24 people, set 6 appointments. Kind of scattered there. Good number of appointments on Saturday. Haven't run those appointments yet, Ernestine. So that's what I'm starting to look at. Are these appointments ones that have just not come up on the calendar yet? Have they been rescheduled? Have they ghosted you? Do we need to work on locking it down so they're showing up? Alicia ain't here. All right, Lauren Peach, 3 apps, 3,000. What's she got to do? 20%, 4,000. One more app, and she's definitely on pace. 96 dials, talked to 6 people, set 5 appointments, ran 7, got 3 apps. Line it up and knock it down, Lauren. Susan, 219 dials, talked to 36 people, set 16 appointments, ran 5, couple app. Line it up and knock it down, Susan. We got an opportunity probably, maybe to tighten that show ratio, except you got some appointments that you might not have even had the opportunity to run because they're upcoming on your calendar. Fletcher with some dials, talked to 7 people, set a couple appointments. Talking to 7 people and setting a couple appointments, Fletcher, that's progress, man. I want you to see that. That's good. Johnny worked over the weekend. He's going to be gone this week. Tamara Sherry, some dials, talked to 11 people, set 4 appointments, ran 4, got a nap out of that. All right. That's where we are at right now, team. I'm going to be on the road, headed home to get set up in my office for our calls this evening. I've got a new agent welcome, 7 p.m. Eastern. It is the new content that I debuted last week. Went over really well for new agents. I'm going to be recording that one this evening to have as a resource for new agents that are not able to make a live call. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have the Larson Life Master Call, and I'm bringing Quility's own Jason Ditson in as our guest. I titled it Behind the Scenes, and you guys are going to want to hear from him. He is an unbelievable expert in this field, in this industry. He has done everything. He has sold at the highest level. He has built agencies at the highest level. Now he works on the back end with Quility as really the relational developer between all the different insurance companies and us. He is integral in building out our proprietary products underwritten by each of the insurance companies. This dude knows more about life insurance in every single aspect of it than any one of us and maybe all of us put together. I'm genuinely excited to have a conversation with him just to learn about this industry, about the back end, about what sets us apart as an IMO, about our proprietary products, what building those out looks like. I honestly have no idea even where the conversation's going to go. But I'm really, really excited to chat with him because he's a wealth of knowledge in this space. That's what we've got going on this evening. My favorite agents are the ones that blow up my phone the most. If we have not talked this week, it's because you haven't tried. All right, y'all. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Hey, Jim. Oh, hey, Kurt. Kurt, are you still there? Hey, Tina. Oh, what time is it on tonight?